everyone, this is Darren with Madcap Toys. Today we're going to be discussing an issue that just happened to us over last month and had just got dealt with over the last couple weeks. And it's took us a little bit to get this video on because we are several videos behind. But I want to know how you guys would have dealt with this problem, and if you guys have had this problem. If you have had this problem, please tell me how you dealt with it, how you would have dealt with it, if you would have dealt with it like I did, or any ideas you may have had. But this is how we dealt with it. We had an eBay buyer recently claim non-receipt of a product. Now the product was basically an action figure. It was a Jack-specific wrestling action figure from WWE. The action figure's name was The Animal. The size of the action figure is roughly 7 inches. The dimensions of the mint on card package was bigger than that, of course, you know. And the weight of the item was roughly about 1.2 pounds by the time we got all the packing and all that in there. But anyway, in the video, I'm going to tell you what I did to fix the problem. And I'd like again to know what you think of my solution and what you may have done or would have done different in our comments below. Anyway, this all started around January 10th. We shipped the item out that very day. The package was received, I believe, right around on January 13th in the morning. And we had the tracking that told us exactly where and when the package was delivered. It was delivered in the morning. It was delivered on the buyer's front porch. I received in the morning, January 14th, 3 emails within a matter of 4 minutes. And this was before I got into the office to turn on and boot up the computers and all that jazz, as you know. And I got in there and I deal with, as a person, each email individually, because I don't want to send a buyer a tangent letter where we're writing and answering or trying to answer all their comments or questions or whatever statements they've made to us with a masterful email, because we have a chance at that way of messing up. So I answer each email individually because I feel like that gives it more personal contact, one-on-one, and I'm hoping to develop some kind of rapport with a person. I want to develop trust. I want to develop likes. I want to develop a relationship with each and every one of my customers, because at the end of the day, I want that person to come back. I don't want to, develop a one-off. I want to develop a repeat customer. But anyway, I received these 3 emails, and the first one said to me, "Hey, where's my item?" Okay, well, I opened that. It's like big capital letters. Everything's capital. Okay, well, this guy is apparently PO'd. Never mind the fact I see I've got 3 other emails here, total, counting that one, that I need to answer right away. And I said, well, according to our tracking that we have available to us, it was delivered today on your front porch. And I said, please refer to the tracking that you have available in your items purchased on eBay. Second email, I filed that email away, kept it in the files in case we needed it later. And he said, cancel my order. I want my money back, and I want it back now. I replied. I tried again to be as kind and nice as I could, understanding, because this can be frustrating. I said, first off, I can't cancel your order, nor will I. And the reason I'm not going to give you your money back is because we fulfilled our obligation on this order. We shipped it. We shipped what we said. We shipped what we showed, and we tracked it. And it says via the USPS in eBay that the item was delivered and received on your front porch. Third email. Now remember, these emails were sent to me before I even got in the morning, on that morning on the 14th of January. He said, well, the post office said I got it in a bag. All right, you're going to receive a 1.2 pound item with packing in a bag. And my response was as polite as I could be again, but it's sort of like a canned response. I responded, first off, sir, I own Madcap Toys. We do not ship anything that's mint in box, mint on card, new, unopened, sealed anything in a bag. Now we will use once in a while, of course I didn't respond this to him, but I'm telling you our buyers and fellow sellers out there, we do once in a while use a bubble mailer or a package mailer, but we don't use bags. But we won't use bubble mailers for mint and box products. It's just not logical. I don't want, as a collector, and I do collect myself and have my whole life, I do not want to receive from any store an MIB or MOC in a bag, because you can warp and damage the bubbling, you can have the seal broken, you can sit there and have the card dented, bent, or whatever. And by the way, I worked for the post office at one time, so I know some of the machines that go through and some of the nightmare stuff that can happen to packaging that's in bubble mailers or bags if things are not, working up to snuff. So I would not ever send anybody's product in a bag, especially something that's mint box or mint on card like that. The next response was, like I said, first off, I said, sir, the idea that your package was sent in a bag is just BS. I said, because I own the store and I know how we ship the product. And I said, matter of fact, I was there when this product was shipped because I helped find it. We're not a huge organization. At most during the holidays we can have maybe 8 people help us find products or work on the products or the issues. And on average we can have, I think right now we're running about 3, maybe 4 of us working on things. But I keep pretty close tabs on what's going on, so that way if something hits the foul ball, I know what's going on pretty much most of the time. And I said, I was there. I said, so that's BS. I said, this was not shipped in a bag, because I seen the girl that shipped it and packed it, because I handed it to her. And the next response, I got an email a few minutes later, it wasn't 10 minutes later. He said, hey, I talked to the post office and they said that it was in a bag, because the post office is the one that told me. And I said, well, I've worked for the post office and I know the postmaster, especially down there in your city, which is rather large. I said, and you've got different postmasters of different areas and regions down there. I said, they will not know anything about what individual package goes to what individual customer, because they have mail sorters for that. So I smell something's not right there. And then number 2, I said, now your postal deliverer might know a little bit more, but if it's in a big city, which this was, I said the odds of that post office worker remembering exactly what packages he or she delivered to your house is very close to nil. I said it could happen if you just got a small town or something, but big cities, I don't think so. But that being said, we moved on. And I told him, I said, you just can't do that. We can't and we would not ship an item in a bag. I said, so I don't know who's telling you that or why. I said, but that's just wrong. It's BS. And anyway, we're going on here. Turn over here. I got my next email from him. He said, well, that same day, according to my post office worker delivery person, he said, I received 4 other packages. Why in the world would they go out of their way to steal your package off my front porch and not take your pack or every other package? And I said, well, I really don't know. I said, you tell me. And this was in the email that I sent him. I said, you tell me. I don't know what makes people tick. I don't know why my package isn't there when it says delivered. You know as much as I do, honestly. And again, I'm trying to be nice here, but I'm honest and blunt. First off, as a seller, I've learned, and a person, you never take responsibility for something you do not have control of. You respond flat, blunt, and to the point. and don't go past it. I said, but let me ask you a question. I said, did you talk to anybody about receiving packages? Did you tell anybody about when you expected to receive a collector action figure? Have you talked about the day it's supposed to arrive and roughly what time? Have you told anybody about your plans going to go and see this WWE main event kind of deal and have the animal sign the product and told him how much you think it's worth or will be worth? And by the way, guys, the package that we sent, counting shipping, depending on who it is or where it's shipped from, can vary in price from no more than $29 and change to $39 and change. So you're not talking about an item that's really huge amounts. But I mean, some people say, well, if I get this thing signed, it can go up to like $200, $199, or $100 or $150 in value. I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of times if you say stuff to certain people and around the right company, and even if that person doesn't mean it or take it themselves, another person, if you're around the right company, if somebody hears them discuss it with you or say, hey, I got a friend that's got an item that's coming in and he says he's going to get it signed, that can be enough to trip somebody over the edge, and they'll go keep an eye out for it and drive by and pick up an item. We've seen it happen before. But nevertheless, I said, I don't know. His response to that email with yet another email was, well, I never told anybody. Okay. So it may have somehow been lost or somehow stolen. I don't know why the post office supposedly say that it's there and been delivered, but then magically delicious disappears. But I told him, I said, well, I said, you know, we've got a couple ways basically dealing with this. I said, I've done all that I as a seller on eBay am capable and responsible to do. Because, see, we can't be responsible for the entirety of the transaction as a seller from start to finish. We are responsible for, as you the buyer, when you buy it, we as a seller agree and promise and give our word as a company that we will ship the product that you see online in the photos or the scans. That product will be shipped, and it will be shipped to you. I also make sure that it's tracked, as most people do, and it's insured in case there is a damage or water issue from rain or something. I don't know. But we take care of our customers as best as we can within what we are able to do and control. But what a lot of customers, including this individual, apparently does not understand is we cannot be responsible for everything that happens en route from Indiana to Southern California. And that's given them the benefit of the doubt that something actually happened en route. We can't be responsible if somebody puts it on the porch and somebody walks by and steals it, or somebody drives by and says, hey, I want that, so they take it, or somebody knows that something's there and they know that you're working at a certain hour but you got packages laying out there in a pile and they walk up and they take it. Nor can we be responsible if it rains or sleets and hails and it gets in on the package and we have to deal with turning in a file to get the insurance to cover a damage issue. Nor can we handle if a kid walks by and sees something that says, hey, Madcap Toys. That's a toy. Who knows? It could be awesome or collectible, so I'm going to take it home. Nor can we be responsible for the fact that the U.S. Post Office sometimes screws up a job and damages the product. They'll say they delivered it, and we've had this happen, and the item's literally been destroyed, and the post office worker doesn't want to admit that it was in part their fault. So they'll say it's delivered, and God knows where it goes. But the post office bites the bullet and has to cover the damaged product. So I told him that, again, trying to keep and be professional and be nice and be courteous and being understanding, because I know these things can be frustrating because I myself am a buyer of a lot of things. I said, what I would recommend, there's two ways we can deal with this first off. I said, first off, if anybody truly picked up the item off of your porch, I said, having worked with the United States Post Office and in a few cases the U.S. Postal Inspector, I said, you need to file a form with the post office. And I said, now get the, I believe it is the Inspector General involved. They'll do some research on this and see if they can round it up and find it. And I said, if it's in the post office or gone back to the post office by mistake, I said, they will find it. I said, if not, I said, well, somebody's took it. And then You know, it's a loss at the post office expense. It's insured. They have to cover it. So you'll be covered for your money there. I said number two, I said according to eBay procedure, what you really need to do is go through eBay as a buyer and put I have not received and put a non-receipt issue on eBay and say I did not receive this item from Madcap Toys. I said that pretty much removes, you know, us from dealing with this. I mean, I don't mind dealing with you, but really we need to deal with the intermediary because eBay has a buyer protection plan guarantee that will cover any such issues. And they also do this because it helps finally protect me as a seller because I've done all that I can do. Well, the buyer's next email, he said, I doubt I have to, or I'll do what I have to do, but this whole transaction angers me, and it disgusts me. I'm really, frankly, quite upset about the whole thing with you, eBay, and the UPS. Now, okay, look, again, I don't like what was said. I don't care what's said. I do care, but I don't. So there's only so much I can do. But my response was this, and this was my last email to him because I told him, I said, look, I'm going to give you this last email, and please don't take this wrong. I said, but I'm going to tell you the points to the fact. I said, first off, let me see. eBay did nothing wrong. So you really don't have a right to be mad or angry at eBay. eBay was a venue that gave you the opportunity to get a transaction done and committed and fulfilled. And they did nothing wrong. They allowed you to sell or to buy an item from a seller on their venue. So you don't need to get mad at them. They did not rip you off. They did not defraud you. They did not impair in any way your product getting to you. I said, and tracking, according to what I see, it says it's shipped, because I know it was shipped. The item arrived and was set on your front porch. So you really shouldn't be upset with me because I, as a seller, did all that a seller can do. You know, there's only so much, like I said, you guys that sell on eBay, pickers or internet sellers of eBay, Mercari, etc., can only do so much. We only have so much control over a transaction. I said, so I did all I could do, and I'm sorry for any and all issues, and I hope to be able to serve you again in the future. And I apologize for any and all inconvenience this has caused you. I really regret it. And I said, if there's anyone at fault here, I said it'd be the United States Postal Service. I said, but with that being said and in mind, I said it may not even be the United States Postal Service's fault and issue. I said if they delivered the item and it says on your front porch it was delivered, I said they've done all they can do. I said they offer insurance on the product, so that's a guarantee and a protection that we offer and they cover. I said, and also, I said, like I said, we have a way of solving this problem. It takes a little bit of time, but via eBay's guaranteed delivery. I said that covers you and protects you from such instances. And I said, and it protects me as the seller from such issues. I said, so I recommend that you file it. And, you know, let's move on from there and just let's let this thing work its way out. Well, within 30 minutes, the eBay buyer filed a issue, non-receipt via eBay. It took, I think it took us only about 2.5 weeks for this to get resolved. It was a little quicker than most of them that I've had to deal with years ago. Like I said, I think I had 1 or 2 last year. I don't have very many because most of the time we ship the items the very next day and sometimes the same day. And most of our customers that we call Madcappers, our Madcap family, they get the item, they love it, they say great deal, great job, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, once in a while you're going to have a problem. But this one here, he got his money back. Now what happened was he got his money back, he got a refund, but the refund did not come from me. It did not count against me. It did not count as a defect against me. It did not count against me in any way as a seller, which I'm very thankful for because what else could I have done, really? and eBay took it and took the hit themselves, which I was very thankful for. But guys, let me wrap this video up because it's a little longer than usual. But I wanted to tell you, this is what we had the problem. We had an eBay customer, a buyer, claim non-receipt of the product. The product clearly showed via tracking the time and the destination where it was put and placed. And it showed the post office that it was sent from the day it was shipped to the porch of the house of the individual. But if this video has been helpful to you, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what you see and you'd like to see this video and various other kinds of videos of this nature that we have experiences of, please subscribe and support us. That helps us out a lot, especially being a small, newer channel. We've had it for a while, but we haven't really pushed it till this last year. And also, we'd ask that you give us a comment. Have you faced this very much this last year? And to me, it seems like there's from a lot of sellers I've seen, seems like there's a little bit more of this going on than usual. I don't know why, but have you had an issue with this? And if you did, how did you deal with it? And did you do the same thing? How to respond? Do you think I could have done something a little different? I mean, the only thing I see that I might have done was just gave the money back, which, guys, we can only swallow so much loss here from somebody else's malfeasance. But, you know, what would you have done? I'm interested to see and hear what you would have done, whether you agree with me or not. Your comments are welcome. Thank you guys so much, and we appreciate you. We thank each and every one of our subscribers. You guys have a great, wonderful day. This is Darren saying bye, guys.